It's good that all this fraud is finally coming out. You know, it's good that our government has been, it is the biggest criminal organization on the planet. And this video is also about fraud, but it's a different kind of fraud. It's a much more sinister fraud. And so we're going to expose some two-faced pieces of shit committing this fucking fraud. And I'm talking about criminal justice fraud. It's been going on for decades. Okay? Well, let me just get right into it. Okay, I'm going to read you a statement under oath from a trial. That's being a statement that's being made under oath in a trial. Okay, this is questioning Michael Miller. Michael Miller is the one testifying right now, and as you can see, the question is: so you left Sierra Vista the first or second week of September? Is that correct? Answer: that's right. Question: so about 4 weeks between the last time you used the tools and the time you discovered them missing, that someone had taken them out of your shed? Yes. Okay, so just so you know what this case is about now. Now this is about a tool set that I legally purchased and that I posted on Craigslist for sale. Okay, so this is a warning to all you people who sell stuff online. The police are scumbags, and they will use your items to close their cases because they're fucking idiots. Okay, so as you can see right here, this you can see right here, every single socket, ratchet, all there. It's all there. It's full. It's complete. Yep. Okay, and you can see this is after the cops came and purchased my tools. They saw my ad on Craigslist and they came and purchased my tools from me, and then they walked back into my house a couple hours later without a warrant, accusing me of stealing these tools from a neighbor of mine that lives about a mile away. Okay, no warrant. They just walked right into my house. No, you know, if they had any kind of evidence that my tools were stolen, why would they come buy them from me? They wouldn't. Okay, they're fucking idiots and criminals. And it's time. I'm done. All right. So I need your help. Anyways, back to the testimony. Okay. So now this is the prosecutor. Now is talking with Michael Miller. Captain Michael Miller from Fort Huachuca, who is now a professor at a Texas university. Okay, so this is what he said. Question: in September of 2012, did you go on vacation or go out of town? Answer: I went out of town. Yes, in September. Question: I went to visit my brother who was living in Cape Verde, Africa. Question: and how long were you there for? Answer: the entire trip was 3 weeks. Okay. Did your wife go with you as well? No. She went to Texas to see her family. Question: so your house, was there anyone staying there in September? Answer: in parts of September, yes. For that 3 week period, no. No one was there. Question: do you remember which 3 week period you were gone? Answer: it wasn't the last 3 weeks. It was kind of like the middle chunk we were out of town. Do you remember when you got home? I don't remember the exact date, but it was towards the end of September. This guy is a captain in military intelligence. The military paid for him to go to Cornell University. Okay, at the beginning of his testimony, he knows the dates. The prosecutor intentionally told him to be dumb. Don't give us dates, because if you give us dates, you're going to out our crimes here. Okay, so he was gone for 3 weeks in September, and then he goes on to say, when you got home, did you notice anything unusual about your house? Initially, no. Okay, did you go and when was the first time you went into your shed? Less than a week after I had returned home. Okay, so we're talking about almost like I had already showed you from his statement before, 4 weeks. Okay, he was out of town. So then we got this. This is a police report that was created on right here, September 22nd at what, 10:20? No, wait, this is at 1:30. Okay, but this call says right here, on 9/22 at approximately 10:10 hours, I was dispatched to whatever his address was, reference a burglary. Okay? When I arrived, I contacted Michael Miller, who stated he had been out of town for the last 2 weeks. This morning, he entered his shed that is attached to his carport and discovered that his Ryobi cordless tool set containing a drill, circular saw, sawzall, and flashlight was missing. Also missing was a Craftsman 150-piece mechanics tool set. Both items were last seen approximately 3 weeks ago. Okay? That's interesting because that's not what he just said under oath. While victim Michael Miller was out of town, he did have the Sierra Vista Police Department volunteer patrol perform house checks of his residence. That's interesting. The police never said anything about that in trial. I inspected the storage shed and surrounding area for evidence, but did not discover anything. I attempted to find fingerprints on a cooler that had been moved by someone other than Michael Miller, but was unable to find latent prints. I completed the victim's rights paperwork and gave Michael Miller his copy. This case will be forwarded to the Property Crimes Unit for their review. This case is closed at 1:20. Okay, so the same day they supposedly took this report, they closed it. Okay, that's so. What I just told you, this is what they call probable cause to believe that a crime has been committed, because these people are lying under oath. This is probable cause to believe a crime has been committed. All right. Okay, so continuing with the sworn testimony, I can't find page 36. I'm sorry, but so they're asking him now, basically about when he reported his tools. So, question: was this the same day you noticed the tools were missing? They asked him if the cops came, when the cops came when he reported his tools to him. So he said probably the same hour. It was pretty fast. Okay. So what did you tell the police officers? Answer: basically the same things we just discussed here. I explained how I'd been out of town, came home, opened my tool shed, looking for my tools. They were not there, and I called the police. And what did the police do while they were there? They took my report, they dusted for prints, they made a big mess doing that, and that was 2 years ago, so I can't perfectly, 3 years ago, so I can't perfectly recount their interactions, but I definitely remember they dusted for prints and let me know they would work on it, and that was it. And so we just saw that supposedly they weren't going to work on it because they closed the case the same day, so because this never happens anyways. Okay, so what did you do next? Almost immediately, I started trying to figure out how I was going to replace my tool set. Like I said, I had work to do on my motorcycle and I needed tools. So I got on Craigslist because that's a good marketplace for used tools, and started searching for tools. Now, this may have been a day later. I don't want to mess things up on the timeline here. I don't think it was that exact day. I think it was a day or two later. I got on Craigslist to try and search for tools. I typed in the words Craftsman tool set and I just think I remember that one result came back. I checked on it and I saw a photo of my tool set. Well, how did you know it was your tool set? Sure. So like we talked about, my tool set was unique because I had added tools to it. What specifically stuck out of the photo was the torque set and the extension, the ratchet extension. Those two items were unique to my set. Which is a pretty fucking bold statement. But anyways, we'll continue. Okay. I think we have exhibits marked. Can you see the first exhibit? Okay. So the exhibit they're getting ready to show him is this right here. This is a printout of the ad that I had posted on Craigslist, and I'm sorry, it's black and white. This is how the prosecutors scumbag people, is that they don't give clear pictures, so they don't have to explain anything. They don't give you clear color pictures, so they don't have to explain anything. So they could just get people to assume that they are talking about something in this picture, but you can't see anything in this photo. You know, they had color photographs. I already showed you them. So, you know, anyways, this is what they're showing him. And we're going to get back to that in a second. So Exhibit 1 is a printout of the tool set, the advertisement for the tool set. And is this what you saw when you went on Craigslist? Yes, this is exactly the ad I saw. Can you describe what it is that you see that made your tool set? Sure. So on the left side of this photo, don't hold it up. It's not in evidence. Just look at it. Okay. Anyways, I wanted to point out right here, it's Torx wrenches now. Okay, that's a different tool. I mean, I'm just saying. Anyways, so down here, and does that picture appear to be substantially the same condition as when you saw it? Yes. Okay, has it been changed, marked, or altered in any manner? He wasn't paying attention. He was supposed to say no. But he answers, yes, someone has circled the date. Okay, and what date is that? September 23rd, 2012. So while we're sitting there and he is giving all this testimony that is not supporting him being in Sierra Vista or in his country in the entire month of September, okay, and I'm over there trying to get my attorney's attention. She's already compromised. I know that's pretty much pointless, but I'm trying to get her attention. I'm catching all these lies. And so right after the prosecutor's looking right at me, knowing he knows that I've caught him. So he takes this out. He circles the date right here and then hands this to the witness that he's talking to. And then right here, someone has circled the date. Why would the prosecutor circle the date on this right before handing it to the witness that they are that's testifying right now? The obvious and only answer to that question is because they are instructing him. They're getting him to. They're tampering with evidence to get him to change his testimony, because the testimony he's given is definitely not supporting this police report in the whole narrative that this was reported in September, a day before I posted my tools on Craigslist. And he's already said that. Well, he found his tools on Craigslist within a day after he reported his tools stolen. They raided my house on October 5th. They bought the tools on October 5th. So that means that he reported his tools on October 4th, my birthday. So that means that this entire thing, these cops framed me, and this is probable cause. This is exactly what they are supposed to show a court to charge somebody with a crime. Yet they ignore all this. This is evidence, folks. Evidence, probable cause. They need to answer for this. You want to talk about Nazis in America, folks? Your Nazis are right here. Okay, this is how it is. They frame us. This is the third time they framed me. This is the third time, all because I called out a corrupt, crooked ass cop years ago, Officer Mitchell, for being the corrupt, crooked ass cop he was, and the cop in this case, Officer Joshua Nicola, Officer John Andela. Criminals. They're criminals. They're fucking liars. They're pieces of shit, and I'm charging them with crimes. This is right here. This is tampering with a public document. That's a felony. Lying under oath. That's a felony. Tampering with physical evidence. That's a felony. Witness tampering. Felony. All these people. This is probable cause. This is more than they ever had of me. Any crime. I never committed any crimes. I sold my own tool set. They used my own tool set against me. They walked into my house without a search warrant. All right. They went to a elder law attorney to get a search warrant. Why the fuck would they go to an elder law attorney to get a search warrant? Because they know that person is easily manipulated. All right. They lied to get the warrant, and I'm going to get into that in another video. But right now, what I need is your help. I need your help. Okay. I'm charging these motherfuckers with a crime. All right. Crime. Judge John Kelliher, you're a fucking criminal. You're accused of a crime. Kristina Sizneros, I'm accusing you of a fucking crime. John Andela, I'm accusing you of a fucking crime, you piece of shit liar. Joshua Nicola, you fucking piece of crap. I'm accusing you of a fucking crime too. All right? The evidence is right there. Probable cause. The court of public opinion is in. It's time for these fucking people to stand trial. Why do they get to accuse us of crimes? Why do they get to do whatever the fuck they want? They get to force us into their fucking games, and they destroy our lives, yet they don't have to answer for shit. I'm fucking calling them out. Want to talk about fraud? This is criminal justice fraud. These people, these higher courts, the appellate court, the Supreme Court, frauds. Pieces of shit, fucking lying ass scumbags. Okay? They don't fucking stand up for us. They don't stand up for our rights. They don't stand for the rule of law even. They don't stand for the rule of law. They're fucking scumbags. All right? This is bullshit. I need your help. All right? It's pretty simple. All you need to do on this video is simply leave a comment. Arrest them. Charge them. Try them. That's all. Let them know that you expect your police officers and your prosecutors and your judges to fucking follow the law, and they need to fucking be held accountable when they're lying ass fucking framers and piece of shit scumbag felons. All right? They need to sit in jail. They need to go to prison. They need to fucking taste their medicine. All right? Except for I'm not framing them. I'm not falsely accusing them of shit. I'm presenting evidence. Hey, you guys are such badass attorneys. What the fuck? You afraid of me? Let's have a trial. Take it to the fucking court. Let's take it to the jury, man. You won't, because you know you're going to fucking lose. All right? Fucking scumbags. So, that's the third time. This is the third time. So, I want to ask you just a quick question. Okay? So, put yourself, I want you to imagine you're a judge. Okay? And judges in this country are missing, in the state, at least, or in this county, definitely, but in the state, yeah. There's one thing that seems to be missing, and that's common sense. It's common sense. Now I want you to imagine you're the judge, okay? And the prosecution is in your courtroom, and they have got the accused there, and, you know, they have charged this person with felony. And they're coming to you, and they are saying, Your Honor, we messed up. We need to change the date of this crime. Does the defense have a problem with that? No, Your Honor. Okay, maybe once. Yeah, it could be a clerical. A dozen times? What would you think if the prosecutor came into your courtroom every single time that you had a hearing and changed the date? Personally, now I guess I'm way out of line in thinking this. Now, personally, I would have a problem with that if I was a judge. I would think, oh, you know what? What the fuck? You've charged this man with a felony crime. You're doing things that are destroy his life, and you can't even come in here and settle on the date. You're high. Get out of here. Dismissed. Come back when you've decided what date it is. Nope, that's not what happens. Not in Cochise County. Oh no, that's perfectly fine. They can charge you with something not even knowing the date. Not even knowing the date. If they don't know the date, they don't know the crime. Right? This is fabricated bullshit. Okay. Now, let's take the next thing that happened. Okay. They have been up the last year. First of all, they waited 2 years to indict you. Okay, for this simple apparent burglary. Okay, which you know full well is bullshit. All right, but anyways, why would they need to wait 2 years? Okay, and then there's gonna be another year, so it's 3 years now that they have waited. And you're thinking, well, they're doing this because they want to take advantage of people's memories, which is true. But it's not the defendant's memory they're wanting to take advantage of. It's their witness's memory, okay? So anyways, so you've gone through all this crap, you know, the warrant, you've already been in, had the suppression hearing because the warrant was bullshit. You know, the cops didn't have a warrant when they walked into your house and invaded your home, okay? And the judge, it turns out the judge knew that too because when he was upholding this warrant, instead of, he upheld it as a vehicle search instead of a home search, which changes the the level of probable cause for the warrant, right? Because your vehicle, you have less of an expectation of privacy in your vehicle than you do in your house. Okay, and so when the judge turned the warrant that they didn't have when they invaded my home into a vehicle search warrant, he was admitting that he knew full well that these cops were lying through their fucking teeth about having this warrant when they came into my house. Okay, and again, vindicated me, who has been saying they didn't have a warrant when they came to my house. Proof. This is proof. This is evidence. But our courts are so stupid. You know, they did whatever. But anyways, so you've gone through all this stuff, and they've been talking about this body cam footage that they had, and the video that they have buying my tools, all this for this year, and then you're sitting there the morning of trial. You're like, yes, you know what? It's about to be over. Finally, we get to see this evidence, and then all of a sudden, the courtroom empties out. And it's just me and my wife sitting there looking at the court reporter like, where did everybody go? What's going on here? About 10 minutes later, they all come walking out, the police, the judge, the prosecutor, they all come walking out of the judge's chambers. And my attorney walks over and tells me that, so here's the deal. So they don't have any evidence against you. They don't have any evidence. All the body cam footage, all that they lost it this morning. They went to go get it and it's gone. So they don't have it. And the judge is continuing the trial. What? I object, Your Honor. Mr. Beatty, sit down, shut up. You don't have a right to object. Your objection doesn't matter, okay? So, this is. I'm sorry, but I don't see. You want to talk about Nazis? You want to talk about kings? Let's start talking about the right Nazis and the right kings, okay? Please, help me out. Arrest them. Charge them, try them. Leave a comment, help me out. We need to send them a clear message that, hey, criminals, they got to do their time. They commit the crime, they got to do the time, no matter who they are, because if no one's above the law, then no one's above the law. Let's hold them to it. It's time. Thank you.